Hello there, Schwoke Lords. I'm just here to tell you my new song, Dry Spell, is out now wherever you're streaming music. Go check that out. At the end of this episode, you can listen to the song in its entirety, so stay tuned for that and don't touch the dial. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's left in doubt, don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Hello, and what is going on, my fellow Schwoke Lords? What is up? Welcome to yet another episode of TheSchweezy, better known as the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. What's going on, everyone? How's it going? I have, a lot of cool ideas, but, none of them I feel like I can tell you guys yet, about them. But if you find me in person, I'll just tell you everything, life's what you make it, so let's make it rock. I was Hannah Montana, and we continue saying that. I'm still in my, my ransom note room dungeon thing. I think the space gets cleaned up the 30th. It's a Friday. So then after that, I get to basically rebuild the studio, and it's going to be pretty exciting. Unfortunately, I did hear some news, I think it was yesterday, the day I'm recording this, but I have two little cousins. I'm not going to give you their names. That's weird. You might find them on my Instagram, but I don't post weird shit about them. I do feel weird, though. Sometimes I'll post pictures with them, and it's like, I know my cousin doesn't care, but also, or my cousins, I don't know. When your cousin marries a guy, are they your cousin? I know they're family and you're going to see them around, but do you consider them your cousin too? Or because if I say cousin-in-law, it sounds fucking dumb. Cousin-in-law, it's the right word, right? Cousin-in-law. Never thought I would have a cousin. I mean, I guess I knew. Guess I was a kid and we had cousins my age. I'm I guess they'd get married. So, because I have a cousin-in-law, I have one cousin. She's getting married, and next year in Arkansas. So I'm lucky. Where I guess she's getting married at. I have a good friend who's not a famous person. I don't know why you would think they were famous. They're just a friend who doesn't put their life on the internet. They live 30 minutes from there. They live still in Missouri, but it's basically Arkansas, Missouri. They're just so close. I lived in basically Missouri, Kansas, growing up. So it's you live in Kansas. It is weird, this area I'm from. Especially, I dated a girl. She she lived. I don't know how to describe. There's it's not really a town, but it's a community. That makes sense. She lived in one of those, and then they had to drive across Missouri River. And basically, they, anytime they go, and people lived in Missouri, but then they worked in Kansas. This is the things we tried in my small town, and stuff like that. So I always get weird. It's always weird about those, because you have taxes and shit like that. Because it's you realize you have a business, and you're oh, but we're a, and I lived in Tennessee. The nice thing about Tennessee is Tennessee does not have a state income tax, and so I think Texas and Tennessee are the only two states that have it. I could be wrong, and I'm not going to Google it. So, remember when we just took people's words for it? This is what this podcast is all about. Just taking my word for the shit I say. Anyways, though, I was talking about my little cousins. Yeah, so they're 4 and 6. They're not Irish twins. They were. I guess this is a common thing. I thought this was just because I'm stupid. But apparently, sometimes in wherever area you're from, it's normal to go to preschool for 2 years. And that's how my mom lives. She's it's normal to go to preschool for 2 years. But I guess the little one, she was in preschool, and then her brother was in kindergarten. But I didn't know it was her first year of preschool. And I guess when he was in preschool, it was COVID. So I don't know. I don't know. When you're in a small enough town, you're hey, if we all don't dick around, COVID won't be a problem. So that's why COVID just seemed to go away in small towns so quick, Anyways, though, 4 and 6, like I said, they saw a video of Luke Combs performing. Now, Luke Combs, he's a musician. I think he's a great. I think in regards to all the country guys today, I'm like he's one of the. He's just pretty like he's kind of in the neutral area, you know. And I don't think he's bad. I think he's good. He has some good songs. But I do love Beard Never Broke My Heart. That's a fucking phenomenal song. But they saw him play, and those kids thought that it was me performing. Now, you know, there's a lot of things I need to say. One, I think this is very important for me to know that this is a wake-up call for me because, you know, like, you know, because, you know, I don't want to body shame Luke Combs, but, like, do you know how bad, I always think about, like, I don't know why, I always think about Luke Combs' underwear after, you know, after a show. Like, what does his underwear smell like after he's done performing? Because he's got to be at least performing 2 hours. And as another chubby guy, I can tell you that you just start sweating. Like, you get past like, on your BMI, like, you get past a certain point, and you're just like, I'm just going to sweat all the time, you know? And it's, and actually, you know, when you're like, why do people sweat so much when they perform music? I'm like, that's apparently a normal thing. I learned in the 8th grade from a teacher who I look back now, who wasn't a bad teacher, but would say questionable things, you know? Remember when we had teachers who said questionable things, you know? Let's keep that tradition alive. But anyways, though, being Luke Combs being a new doppelganger on my list, you know, Seth Rogen's one, but I don't see Seth Rogen as much. Jonah Hill, I do see that a little bit. And then I get the most random ass than doppelgangers. Was it the weirdest one was like, you look like the mayor from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, but I don't get that. But Luke Combs is a new one for me, and I gotta say, you know, if we're going to get this comparison, I got to say, Luke Combs, super handsome. Like, he's just a good-looking guy, you know? He's just great-looking. So, that's my thoughts on Luke Combs. He's great-looking. But also, what does his underwear smell like after a show? I think that's actually, we're more interested in what his, like, underwear smells like after a show, you know? I also been thinking about therapy. I've been doing therapy, and I know you're thinking, like, hey, you're doing a podcast. Why do you need to go to therapy? And I'm like, I know it's true. I'm just kind of doubling up for the most part. Yeah, so, you know, I tell my therapist, you know, you have to talk about your life in therapy. That's why I hate doing it so much. I hate doing therapy, but I don't hate the results of therapy. I hope that makes sense. It's like, oh, do you like therapy? I'm like, no. But does it make my life better? Yes. And so I continue to do it. You know, sometimes you have to do shit you don't like to do to make yourself better, you know, to be better at something, you know. So I do that. But I'm kind of starting to think, my therapist doesn't think, that'd be really funny if she listens to this. I'm starting to think that she doesn't think that I'm that good of a musician. And I don't claim to be any sort of like prodigy or anything like that. But I do know enough about myself where I can say, like, hey, would you like me to entertain someone with music for a couple hours? Or, like, hey, would you like me to be a part of your band and, like, get your money's worth? You know, I feel like I'm good enough at least for that, you know? Some of you may think, like, oh, you're so much better than that. And some of you are like, you suck dick, and I'm not going to listen to either of you. So, you know, think about that. I think I'm at least that good at music, I want to say, because I do get paid to play music, you know. I've been paid for recording sessions, I've been paid for it, and, you know. So, like, though the idea of a professional is someone who gets paid for what they do, and I have been getting paid for what I do. But I don't know if my therapist knows that. So, now I have to think about how do I get my therapist to think that I am ungodly good at music, you know? Like, how do I, I'm a god at music, you know? And at this point, you know, you realize who are you trying to impress in this world? Like, why do you do things, you know? And for a lot of guys, it's like, I need to get laid, you know? Like, guys do most things to get laid, and I'm not trying to, you know, but, why would I try to impress my therapist? I don't know, because, you know, I guess I've been living, in Nashville for so long, you just assume, like, if you tell someone you're a musician, it's a normal thing, but then you leave Nashville and tell someone else, or whatever, and I do online therapy, FYI, and so, you go out of there and tell someone, like, oh, I'm a musician, and you're like, oh, okay, like, they, like, hesitate a little bit and shit like that, and you're like, I don't want that to be me, like, you want to tell people. For me, I want to tell people that I play music and I'm a musician, and even like even a songwriter too. I want to tell people that, and I just want them to take me seriously, Like I don't expect them to think I'm the goat or anything. I'm not trying to be a goat, Bah, that's a sheep. A goat. What do goats say? No, it's a horse. I don't know. But anyways, though, someone help me out. How do I impress my therapist? How do I do that? Please let me know. Thank you. Maybe I should just tell her that my new song, Dry Spell, I think it's over a month old now. And it's out now wherever you stream music. That's Spotify. You know where you stream music at. So make sure you go check that out. That's a new song. I'm planning getting releases, just kind of rough areas releases, and I'm doing a lot more with my music, and so I'm kind of having some time off. And the thing is, you kind of have to, if you want to write your own music, some of us write our own music. Fucking Jason Aldean. Some of us write our own music, and to write music, you kind of have to live a little bit. You have to live a little bit. Try that in a small town. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Music out wherever you stream music under Schweezy. Social media at TheSchweezy. That's everywhere. I can post on Threads again. I need to post on Threads again. I don't know. I just need to, just think about how God loves us or something. I don't know. Anyways, go check me out there. Make sure you follow me over there. Patreon. We do still have that up, so you can help that out. But it's mainly just a tip jar. Other ways you can tip that, maybe a little bit easier for you, Cash App. And we also have a PayPal, it's in the Linktree link in the description of the episode. So make sure you're checking that out as well, and stuff like that. But make sure you do all the free shit. Make sure you're liking. You're going to YouTube, especially if you're an audio listener. But if you're audio on YouTube, hi, I'm waving to you. But I'm saying I'm waving for the people listening to the audio, and that way you get to see me. You get to see the funny little background or the location we are for the week. I post highlights of the show as well. And so you can just go check that out, share it with your friends. If you're on the audio platforms, obviously give us a review. Make sure you write out a review, even if it's just nonsense. Just having the review there is just very helpful and a great way to support the show. You can give me 1 star. I do not give a shit. I take criticism badly like everyone else, but I keep it to myself. So, so definitely check that out as well. But yeah, no, definitely do that. Just, be kind. It's just kind of like Be Kind, Rewind, Do you like receiving a VHS tape that is, not rewound? So you have to sit down, rewind it. And maybe your VCR is a slow rewind feature, when you could just, you finish your movie, you just press the rewind, go off, take a shit, come back, the movie's rewound, Do that. Be kind, rewind, okay? Be kind, rewind. And honestly, I think that's going to be the name of this episode, Be Kind, Rewind. So, as long as we remember Be Kind, Rewind, I think we'll be good. And, yeah. So anyways, though, let's jump into previous week right now. What is previous week right now? You may be asking. Well, I'm just going over last week's news right now. And like I said, we got a lot of it. I'm going to be honest with you for this week on the news. I record these on Sunday evenings. And, every week is different. But today, I've been getting bombarded with news stories. Like new, and then so what I'll do is I'll save an article for the week. I have to do it the day of now. I have to prepare the news articles the day of I record. And today we had updates day of. So I'm recording this. What day is it? The Sunday, September 17th. So if something else updated, I'm sorry. It's previous week right now, so remember that. But this is from The Advocate. This one I just heard about today. Lauren Boebert caught fondling date's genitals during family-friendly musical. Newly released security camera footage appears to show Republican Lauren Boebert, the far-right Republican congresswoman, known for her strong stance against drag queens and transgender people, claiming their mere existence sexualizes spaces, engaging in inappropriate behavior during a family-friendly musical at a packed theater. Boebert and her companion were asked to leave the show due to their disruptive actions during a performance of the musical Beetlejuice. In the video, Boebert's companion, identified by multiple news sources as a 46-year-old Quinn Gallagher, I need to learn how to fucking read, a Democrat who owns a bar at which drag shows have occurred, is seen touching Boebert's chest during the show. Boebert, in response, appears to place her hand near his crotch and whispered something to him. Mediaite reports the suggested age for Beetlejuice is 10 and over. This footage of the public mutual groping went viral on social media, leading to widespread outrage. The incident spawned various social media posts, including many with the phrase "not a drag queen," along with the video of Boebert involved in handsy behavior. Independent journalist and trans activist Aaron Reed, who is engaged to Montana Representative Zoe Zephyr, called out the right-wing hypocrisy demonstrated by Boebert's actions. Boebert and her companion were confronted by theater officials at their seat inside the Buell Theater, as previously shown in video footage obtained by Denver NBC affiliate KUSA. After a brief conversation, they were escorted out of the theater. The security camera footage also captured Boebert taking flash photographs, dancing, and using a vape pen inside the theater. Subsequently, she left the venue after theater staff threatened to call police. Initially, Boebert jokingly attributed the incident to laughing and singing too loudly and denied vaping, suggesting that the smoke came from the theater's fog machine. However, a separate video contradicted this claim showing Boebert using her vape pen and blowing smoke towards the audience. An incident reported stated that Boebert protested her removal, asking, "Do you know who I am?" and referring to her supposed board membership and intentions to contact the mayor. Many people noted the apparent hypocrisy of Boebert's actions given her history of making derogatory remarks about the LGBTQ plus community, painting its members as sexually deviant. Boebert issued an apology on Friday expressing regret for the vaping incident, which she claimed to have no recollection of, and attributing her disruptive behavior to ongoing divorce proceedings, the Colorado Sun reports. Okay. I'm not one to be judging people on, like, getting handsy in a movie theater. I'm going to tell you right now. Do I really know what happened in the movie? God damn it. I forgot the name of the movie. God damn it. I had a good old fucking rant. I can't remember the fucking movie. The Pursuit of Happiness. Is it right? The Pursuit of Happiness. Yep. So, I'm going to tell y'all folks something. I don't really know what happened during The Pursuit of Happiness, that movie. I thought, all I remember is Will Smith has a kid, and he's selling this machine that he can only sell to doctors. That's all I remember from that fucking movie. And I think they played it when I was in school, too. They actually played it when I was in 8th grade, and it came in 7th grade. And I'm going to tell you something. You're in the 7th grade. You're figuring out women for the first time. And that's all I'm going to say. That was and to be honest with you, her dad was a couple rows ahead of us because she didn't want to. I don't know what kind of father you have. Maybe just not the smartest dad, but supportive kind of dad who will let his daughter go on a date with me. And I'm going to say, back then, I was way more of a little shit than I was right now. And letting them sit in the back row of a movie theater while you sit like 5 to 7 rows ahead of them, it's surprising. But anyways, though, I don't really remember The Pursuit of Happiness for a lot of reasons. But Anyways, though, should we judge someone on the shit they do in a theater? Do you think we'd have Alanis Morissette if she didn't give Dave Coulier a blowjob during a movie? What was the movie? I actually want to know what the performance they were watching was. I'm actually really curious about that story. But that's for another day. Today we're talking about why Republicans are hypocrites, and Lauren Boebert is not. No, I don't want to shame her, for doing that shit. But first of all, she's like 38 or something like that, and a grandmother. Dude, like she's not even 40 yet. She's like a couple years old. I always say someone's my age, and it's like they're either a little bit younger or a lot older than me. So she's not too far off from how old I am. But just, we're going through the hypocrisy of this, so I don't want to shame her for, touching dick and getting her boobs touched in the theater. We've all done it. We've all touched. If you haven't touched a tit in a movie theater, fellas, are you gay? Or have you just not had the opportunity? Okay, so I guess that's the real question, because I don't want to be like, I'm 13, I haven't had the chance yet. And also, like, if I was a parent, be like, you want to go to a movie? I'm like, well, at a movie, it's less likely they're going to get pregnant, unless afterwards, I guess, is what you're worried about. But in the movie theater, you're not too worried about your kid getting pregnant. You're just, like, making bad choices, So, yeah, anyways, though, like, we've all done stuff in theaters before. So I'm not going to act like I'm better than her. But, however, though, I think the real reason why I actually am better than her, I'm not going to act like I'm better than her for that. What I'm going to tell her is, first of all, she goes on rants all the time about how, like, drag queens are way too sexual, and, like, how, like, you're just teaching sex to children, And, yeah, but when I was with a woman in a theater, it was a PG-13 movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. Maybe. Was it that PG-13? Now I have to look this fucking shit up. The Pursuit of Happiness. Oh, there we go. Oh, it is on Hulu, in case it's watching in the United States. Did they... Wait, you don't... After you turn, like, 17, you don't worry about movie ratings anymore. PG? Yeah, it's rated PG-13. Okay, I'm not lying. But yeah, so, like, just the fact that she's like, drag queens are sexual deviants, and then you're just fucking getting finger blasted and the fucking Beetlejuice show. You're gonna fucking finger blasted the Beetlejuice show. Like, okay, I thought The Pursuit of Happiness was bad, but fucking, I don't know. Even like during a musical, like, like, if you're finger blasting during a movie, the actors aren't gonna know. But when during a musical, they're gonna know. They're gonna know. Okay? And, you can't just be saying shit. And then also, like, you're dating a Republican. No, you're dating a Democrat. Which is, like, it's a super common thing for, like, a very liberal woman to date a conservative man. Which I don't get. That's why I'm not married. Because I'm a little too liberal. A little too liberal for these women out here. It's like, hey, I would like you to have reproductive rights. Like, that's a turn off. I want a guy who doesn't want me to have rights. I'm like, okay. But yeah, and then you're vaping, Please tell me it's weed, But because also, like, that's the problem with, like, smoking, though. Even vaping, too. It's just, like, just smoke everywhere, just everywhere. So I fucking just love... I just love shit you can just, like, hide, Like, I could technically hide drinking all day a little bit, I'd have to get some precautions in. But, you can hide, your alcoholism, But, like, smoking, it's so fucking hard. Like, you have to, like, sneak out and you smell like a skunk. So, like, my mom came to the house today. I got a trade coffee subscription. And then I got some cold brew ready for tomorrow. And then mom's like, it smells like a skunk in here. I'm like, I make coffee. And I went up, it smelled like coffee. I'm like, do you know what a skunk smells like? Because you're like, it smells like a skunk in here. You smoking weed? I'm like, it smells like fucking coffee beans in here. she's chill. Okay, we've been talking about this way too long. Anyways, though, Lauren Boebert, I'm going to tell you right here. Maybe you should become a Democrat. I don't know. You know what? I don't think the Republican thing's working for you yet. Like, it's working a little bit, but, like, I don't know. Maybe get some Democrats on your side, you know? Be a very outspoken liberal. See what happens, you know? Just piss off your whole fan base. You know? This is from Variety. I had to update this one today, too. Like I said, I've like saved like 10 links probably about this. But this one's from Variety. Drew Barrymore halts talk show return after backlash. Will resume when strike ends. Drew Barrymore isn't bringing back her daytime talk show, The Drew Barrymore Show, until the strike ends. After all, the decision comes a week after the actor was criticized for saying The Drew Barrymore Show would premiere on September 18th in compliance with WGA guidelines and without writers. I've listened to everyone and I'm making the decision to pause the show's premiere until the strike is over, Barrymore wrote on Instagram. I have no words to express my deepest apologies to anyone I have hurt, and of course to our incredible team who works on the show and has made it what it is today. We really try to find our way forward, and I truly hope for a resolution for the entire industry very soon. We support Drew's decision to pause the show's return and understand how complex and difficult this process has been for her. A spokesperson for CBS Media Ventures told Variety in a statement, The Drew Barrymore Show will air for the unforeseeable future. A knowledgeable individual told Variety episodes that were taped last week when the show went back into production will not air. Barrymore faced intense blowback for her decision to resume taping for her talk show despite Hollywood's ongoing labor strikes. Variety reported on Saturday that part of the Barrymore's choice to bring back the show stemmed from contractual obligations with station partners across the daytime TV business. As part of the Fallout National Book Awards, resigned Barrymore's invitation to host its upcoming annual award ceremony. Okay. As long as our host or guests don't discuss or promote struck work, Barrymore wouldn't have been violating SAG-AFTRA rules. The network code agreements allowed daytime hosts to perform hosting duties, but Barrymore's show operates with union writers, so new episodes would have required moving forward without their writers on staff. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I lost my place. At the time of the WGA condemned Barrymore's decision in a statement saying Drew Barrymore should not be on the air while her writers are on strike fighting for a fair deal. In reality, shows like this cannot operate without writing, and that is struck work. The Guild has not responded to requests for comment about Barrymore's reversal in programming. Following Barrymore's pause, The Talk on CBS also announced it would no longer return on Monday as planned. The Jennifer Hudson Show still intends to restart on September 18th, while the writers and actors remain on the picket lines. Other daytime talk shows that have returned this season include The View, which has been airing without its writers, as well as Live with Kelly and Mark and Tamron Hall Show, neither of which have writers and are not covered by the WGA. Barrymore apologized over the weekend in a now-deleted video in which she says she owned the choice to bring back her show. I certainly couldn't have expected this kind of attention. She said, I wanted to do this because, as I said, this is bigger than me and there are other people's jobs on the line. So, yeah, and I think this is, I'm happy Drew Barrymore did the right thing, I think at least, I feel like Drew Barrymore's not like a shit person, and I think most people in Hollywood would probably agree, like, she's probably not a shit person. You probably meet her in real life, and she's good. I think, isn't Jimmy Fallon, like, her married to her best friend or something like that? Isn't that, like, a weird thing? But, like, I feel like she and Jimmy are such good friends. It's like, like, he does a talk show, she does a talk show, he's just not doing it because of the writers. And he was probably, everyone on SNL is a writer too, so he has writing experience, so he knows, and stuff like that. So I think Drew Barrymore did the thing, and that's the thing that's like really curious about how these like strikes are going, which I agree. I agree with the writers. I agree with the actors. I wish musicians had that, but like I said, musicians are all snakes, and so musicians would never agree to do something like that because like we're all scabs. Like every musician is a fucking scab. But yeah, I think what Drew was probably trying to do, because when you think about, like, you think something like The Drew Barrymore Show, okay? You think the show is all about Drew Barrymore, and you're like, well, she is the name of the show. They don't have a show without her. So that's clear. However, there's so many things that have to get involved for that show to run. And, and then when, the writers went on strike, they're like, we can't do this show without the writers. So you have to go on a break. And then there's people like cameramen, sound engineers, and stuff like that. They're not getting paid right now, too. They're not part of this union, so they can't just be like, I'm going to go strike. Like, they're just, just struggling. And so I understand this is what Drew Barrymore wants to do. However, that's the thing, though. Like, you see how badly these strikes affect people, It's like, oh, you run the sound for the Drew Barrymore show. Let's just pretend that. And now that the Drew Barrymore show is not making episodes, you don't work. And they're not just going to pay you. We're like, oh, there you go. If they're not going to pay the fucking actors a decent wage, they're not going to fucking pay the sound guy, half the time. So, it's stuff like that, and, you have to think about them. So I think that's what Drew, and a lot of these shows that are, wanting to come back amid the strike, they're like, I just want to, I have this whole ass crew, and since the show's under my name, I'm the one who has to, I get all the blame for this shit, And so I think that's what they're trying to do, but I think it's, that's what you want to do. You just want to, help people out. You want to help people under you, but realize that Drew's not really at the top. It's, all these network executives. And for whatever reason, I want to know what the fuck is going on. I feel like it's, I feel like it's not that many studios that are, they just be like, nah, we can't meet those demands, or whatever. I'm like, I guess... why not? That's the thing is, I think the strike needs to get updated instead of just all or nothing. It's just yeah, if you're a union member, you can't work for this studio. You're striking from the studio if you work there. That'd probably make the most sense. But I don't know. I've never been on strike before. I've never been in a union before, so I'm a musician. So our unions aren't really beneficial to anyone. More beneficial to be a scab in that type of situation. So I don't know. I'm happy she's not doing it because that really gives a message. Because when you have someone like Drew Barrymore, that really sends a message to these fucking billionaires. And also remember, trying to understand the concept of $1 billion is hard for the human brain to actually process. Once you get to billions, once that B gets in there, it's bad, So, it's a realization. It has to be a realization for them. Hey, do you not realize how many of these fucking people are just struggling because you won't even pay actors? It's not just about it's not just about the writers. It's not just about the actors. It's about all this other stuff. It's about the cameramen. It's about the sound guys. It's about the assistants. It's about, it's more than just about the writers. I mean, it's, that's it's a big takeaway, but at the same time, it's it's not, it's more than just writers. It's more than just actors, I thought the perfect analogy was who you think the actors strike is benefiting, and it shows a cast of Avengers, but who it actually helps is background actors and stuff like that. So that's what it is. That's who it is. That's what we are doing. All right. Time for a little segment of cool stuff, slick stuff, neat stuff to end this segment. From Taste of Country, Garth Brooks, Trisha Yearwood heading up Habitat for Humanity's 2023 Carter Project. Jimmy and Rosalind Carter have recently retired from the public life, but their important work with Habitat for Humanity will continue. Longtime friends and supporters Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood are set to head up the Carter Work Project in 2023, expanding their role in an organization they've supported since 2007. According to Habitat for Humanity's website, the charity organization, which builds affordable housing for qualifying lower-income families, will not reschedule the 2023 Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project, which will take place as planned in Charlotte, North Carolina, October 1st through the 6th. According to Southern Living, Brooks and Yearwood would lead a team of more than 1,000 volunteers in trying to build 27 affordable homes in that amount of time. Though we could never fill their... Garth impression time. Though we can never fill their shoes, we're so incredibly honored to be given the opportunity to carry President in Mrs. Carter's legacy forward through the continuation of the Carter Work Project. Brooks stated, the Carters were tirelessly supporters of Habitat for Humanity for 35 years, helping to build and renovate 4,390 homes in 14 countries. Jimmy Carter, who served as the 39th President of the United States before focusing on philanthropy in his post-presidency, entered hospice care at his home in Georgia on February 19th. Rosalind Carter was diagnosed with dementia in May. Yearwood is looking forward to stepping into an even more active role in Habitat for Humanity. And this is a Trish. Habitat is a great reminder to me of how grateful I need to be on a daily basis. I believe the adage, to whom much is given, from him much is expected. Part of my job in life is to give back, and this is a wonderful way for me to give back, the singer says in a statement. I grew up in a small town, and if you need something, the whole community rallied. The whole community railed. I think it is what draws me to Habitat. Yearwood adds, in the days you work on a house, you quickly become a community. I will always be that small town girl, and I like that small town feeling that we are all in this together. Habitat gives me that. So I think we're all, first of all, wondering, we're like, oh, that's really cool. Habitat for Humanity is a good thing. And, Jimmy and Rosalind, I remember hearing that February he's going to the hospital. I'm like, no, it's like we're over 6 months later. I'm like, he's not dead yet. I don't know, man. If I have to go into hospice, I definitely don't. Definitely don't want to go into hospice. I'm just like, can we just end this now? It's like I'm 30 and I barely want to be alive right now. I'm like, can I just, can I go? Can I go, please? I'm done, But overall, though, I think this is really just a good cover-up for Garth Brooks and how he hides the bodies. Now, I know what you're thinking when I said hide the bodies. I know exactly what you're thinking. Doesn't he eat the bodies? I'm like, yeah, he does. But, you don't eat chicken bones, do you? We're humans. Even eating other humans, we're not going to eat their bones. We're not fucking psychos, dude. So anyways, though, if you got a house from Habitat for Humanity, there might be a dead body underneath it. Just saying. There might be a dead body underneath it. So be careful. FNX Fitness, the ultimate destination for fitness enthusiasts looking to reach their peak performance and achieve their health goals. Are you tired of the same old fitness routines that leave you feeling uninspired and unmotivated? Look no further than FNX Fitness, where they bring a fresh and innovative approach to your fitness journey. At FNX Fitness, they believe that true fitness goes beyond just physical strength. It's about nourishing your body and mind and soul to unlock your full potential. That's why they offer a wide range of high-quality supplements and products designed to support your active lifestyle. Fuel your workouts and enhance your recovery with the scientifically formulated supplements. From pre-workout energizers to post-workout recovery blends, FNX Fitness has you covered every step of the way. Their products are carefully crafted using premium ingredients, ensuring you get the nutrients you need to perform at your best. But FNX Fitness is more than just supplements. It's a community of like-minded individuals who share your passion for fitness and well-being. Join their supportive community and gain access to expert advice, workout tips, and motivational content that will keep you inspired and on track towards your goals. They understand that fitness is a personal journey, which is why they offer a wide range of products to cater to your individual needs. Whether you're a seasoned athlete looking to take your performance to the next level or a beginner taking your first steps towards a healthier lifestyle, FNX Fitness has the tools and resources to support you every step of the way. But don't just take my word for it. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have already experienced the FNX Fitness difference. Transform your fitness routine and unlock your full potential with FNX Fitness. And using our code in the description, you can save 15% off your order from their website. Ready to take your fitness to the next level? Visit their website on your nearest retailer today and discover the power of FNX Fitness. Elevate your performance, fuel your passion, and become the best version of yourself with FNX Fitness. And a reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Cash App. the easiest way to send, spend, and save money with just a few taps on your phone. Are you tired of dealing with the hassle of carrying cash or waiting in long lines at the bank? With Cash App, you can say goodbye to those inconveniences and hello to a seamless financial experience. Sending money to friends and family has never been easier, whether you're splitting the bill at dinner, paying your share of rent, or simply sending a birthday gift. Cash App lets you transfer money instantly, directly from your bank account. No need to worry about writing checks or handling physical cash anymore. But Cash App doesn't stop there. It's complete financial ecosystem right at your fingertips. Use the app to easily pay for your morning coffee, groceries, or even your monthly subscriptions. With just a simple scan or tap, you can make purchases at millions of locations, both online and offline. And here's the best part. Cash App helps you save money too. With its innovative Boost feature, you can unlock exclusive discounts and cashback rewards at popular retailers, restaurants, and even your favorite services. It's like having your own personal saving assistant, always looking out for the best deals. Worried about security? Cash App has you covered. With top-notch encryption and advanced security features, your financial information is always protected. Plus, if you have ever had any questions or concerns, Cash App's dedicated customer support team is available 24/7 to assist you. So why wait? Join millions of satisfied users and experience the convenience, speed, and savings that Cash App brings to your financial life. Download the app today from your app store and start sending, spending, and saving money like never before. Luckily, the best part is, if you sign up using the link in the description, you get a free $5 just for signing up. That's literally just free money. So join Cash App today. The future of money is here. And when you use our links, you directly support this show. From the people who brought you Autistic People Dating, now brought to you by Netflix, Down for Love, Down Syndrome People Dating. So, this show, very wholesome. You know, bad people like me come into these shows with bad intentions. But I gotta tell you, these shows always end up being more wholesome than you want them to be. And you're also, normal people are probably worried, like, this isn't like making fun of people, is it? No, we're not making fun of people today on the show. We are going to make jokes, but we're not going to make fun of people, okay? There's a difference. What is the difference? We're not going to get into that today. So synopsis of the show, I know we're all wanting to know that. A heartwarming quest for love. This feel-good reality show follows several people with Down syndrome as they navigate the trials and triumphs of dating. And, yeah, and I gotta say, though, it must, I'm like losing my train of thought. It must be hard, you know, for people with Down syndrome living in New Zealand, you know, to have Down syndrome in New Zealand, because, you know, in America where real people live, you know, we just talk and whatever sounds come out of our mouth, we do. But like people in like New Zealand, Australia, the United Kingdom, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. I always forget Wales is a place. Y'all need to get like a singer or something coming out of there, you know? Probably already have. But, God, damn it. Oh yeah, no. So we're going back to this, but they all have to like fake their accents, you know? It's like for British people, like the best part of your day has to be like when you get home and you don't have to do the accent anymore, you know? You just can talk like a normal fucking human being. Yeah. And, so yeah, I really, you know, and when you have Down syndrome, I think there is some stuff, from what I remember with voice, I didn't really study Down syndrome voice, but, I believe it's harder to have for breath support, which is why you don't see a lot of people with Down syndrome as singers. Like, I think it's because, like, it has to be something with, like, breath support, I believe it's right, and I think they may have something weird pronunciation. That's why they all kind of have like a back of their throats, like kind of like peanut butter in their mouth, kind of talking. And I think it's something with their DNA and stuff like that. But anyways, though, faking that New Zealand accent and having Down syndrome has to be kind of rough. But like the thing I feel like we all can agree on when watching this show and kind of like understanding how this show works is like that basically from watching them, it's almost like middle schoolers dating for the first time. We were all young once, you know. Some of you might be young right now, which time's a bitch. Just FYI, time will get you. Time's gonna get you. One day, time will get you. And I'm pretty sure we all acted like this when we were like dating for the first time. And like a lot of these guys with Down syndrome and ladies with Down syndrome, they are dating for the first time, you know? And so they act like middle schoolers because they don't. And I think, what was a better term instead of middle schooler? I think like they act like noobs. Noobs is a better word with 2 zeros. They act like noobs when they go on dates because like they just don't know what to do, you know, stuff like that. And yeah, so it's just, you know, it's very wholesome, very innocent to watch, and I think that's something that's like very, very nice about this show. You're like, oh, it's so wholesome, and you get that way until you get to a couple. It was like Carlos and this other chick. I can't remember the chick's name, but I remember Carlos. Like Carlos had not a New Zealand accent. He had like he was from Bolivia. Yeah, I hope Bolivia is right. So he had like a Bolivian accent, and yeah, so like that was different. Like usually people from other countries don't fake accents; they're just trying to talk. But British people are faking their accent. Like it's 100%, you know, what they do. But I like, you know, it's nice. But he was like, I honestly thought the show's called Down for Love, which I don't know why. And it's not like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything when I think about this, but if I hear like someone with Down syndrome or whatever, and they make jokes like, if you're down, I'm down, you know, they make jokes like that, like automatic laugh from me. So I keep thinking the show is called Down Bad, which is not. And the reason why I think it's called Down Bad is because of Carlos. He was down bad. But I'm happy. I'm happy he found someone on the show. I don't know what happened in real life, you know. I like to go into reality shows pretending that fake reality is real life. And I know it's fake, but at the same time, you know, like just let me live in my fantasies, you know. You know, just let me live in the fantasies and stuff like that. And yeah, I guess they're a lot nicer on like, you know, New Zealand, Australia, UK. They're always like I don't know why the producers are always like, how they make the content is always like way nicer than how they do it in the US. Like that's why I couldn't watch Love on the Spectrum, the American version of Love on the Spectrum, because like we're so dirty when it comes to making reality shows. It's great to watch, but like I don't want to see you like doing people with autism dirty. Like, you know, when it's like that dumb bitch, you know, from high school, you know, when it's her getting ripped off, you're like, I think she kind of deserved it. But when it's like, you know, someone with autism or Down syndrome, like, you don't want to watch them, you know, you don't want to watch some fucking sleazy producer from TLC coming in and being like, all right, do this, make drama that doesn't exist. All right, let's edit this together where it's out of context. You know, people like that. So it's always nice, you know, just, you know, those people have morals over there, you know. I think it's because people in America, we have too much of being fake nice where, you know, if someone's a nice person, they're just a nice person, and then someone's kind of a dick. You know, like Larry David, like you don't think Larry David's a horrible person, but you know he's like, he's not gonna be easy to communicate with, you know, and shit like that, you know. Like people who are just like honest with who they are. That's a rant that I forgot where I started at. I think we're talking about fucking. I wrote DS for Down syndrome, and I keep thinking Nintendo DS. You know, I don't know why I'm thinking. I think it's because I wrote. I don't know. I had an edible, and then what I'll do is I'll just like get on my iPad, and then I'll just start writing shit down, you know, just like write some ideas down. Well, I do that when I'm sober too, but it's been a lot of fun when I'm high, because then you get that, and when you're sober, like sometimes you have a cool idea, and then sometimes you have the dumbest shit you've ever read in your life. And like I wrote, you know, like a song lyric or whatever. It's like, her ass is crushing my DS. I'm like, what the hell did I write? You know? But yeah, no, like, and I think, and I'm going back, kind of trying to rope back around here. I think there is something that we can all there is something recognizable about understanding like someone starting to date for the first time, because I feel like most of us have, like, at least anyone who's had a girlfriend before, has dated before, knows that, like, you know, remember when you were a kid and you're trying to date? I remember like being in the 6th grade, going to like middle school dances and shit like that, you know, and it was like a big deal, you know, because like if you have a girlfriend, like this is the night, you know, this is a special night and shit like that. And then, you know, when I got to high school, I'm like, I'm not going to fucking school dances or whatever, you know, like I just went to like prom. I'm pretty sure I went to like 2 school dances while I was in high school. First one was like a homecoming dance, and I'm like, I don't think I like school dances. Then I went to prom, because like everyone goes to prom, because I'm from the fucking Midwest, and everyone goes to prom except for the weird kids. They don't go to prom. But I actually didn't go my senior year. I went to see Sarah Bareilles in concert instead, and I was like, I didn't have a date anyway, so it's like not really, you know, it wasn't really that big of a deal. So yeah, it just reminds me of like a more innocent time in my life where you know, like you were dating, and dating was so much more not as complicated. It was like dating was easier, but also it was so complex in your mind because you just didn't know any better, you know. You just didn't know. That's like cool stuff. Also, if you pay attention to the credits in a show, you would have seen in this show it said, and I'm just looking at it. New Zealand, the New Zealand Down Syndrome Association. Now, I thought New Zealand was doing well. You know, like Lord of the Rings, you know, were there, and then was The Hobbit even recorded in New Zealand? Like half that shit was green screen. But you know, so you thought like, you know, they had Lord of the Rings going for them, you know? That's what you think about. You know, you think about that with New Zealand, and you're like, what else does New Zealand have? Like shrimp on the bobby? I'm like, is that Australia, you know? So the fact that they have a whole ass Down Syndrome Association, I'm just very shocked. Like New Zealand, I did not know you guys were doing that well. Like I thought you were like, we're white, so we're not poor, but you know, we're not like that, you know, but like, wow, I might shit like that. Like I didn't know. Like, did anyone know New Zealand was doing that good? You know, like you think New Zealand, like, oh, they probably have like a president. You know, you think they probably have like a president. They probably have laws there, but then you're like, yeah, they have a whole ass fucking association for Down syndrome. Like what? They have that? That exists, you know? So that's just that. You know, that's I don't know. I just thought that was great. Like, did y'all think they had one of those? Did y'all think they had a whole ass association for people with Down syndrome? Because I didn't think so. I just thought, I'm like, well, they may have like a whole thing for like people with special needs, but not one specifically for Down syndrome. Because I didn't think Down syndrome was so niche that like it needed its whole ass association. They have an autism one though? Probably not. Human society, we're not good to people with autism. Like that's just who we are. Who we are as a society. We are just not good to people with autism. But last thing one thing I really want to focus on, and this is a deep thought. Unfortunately, we don't have the soundboard today. But I had a thought, and I'm kind of thinking this is true, you know. As people would say, some people would say this is cap. I would rather just say bullshit, you know. I'd rather just say that's bullshit instead of that's cap. You know, I would rather say, I feel like bullshit figures out the word. I think it's bullshit. All right. I am not a Down syndrome denier. I do believe that Down syndrome exists, and I do believe people have it. I believe it's just like an extra chromosome. You know, you're like homies with chromies, you know, that's what your Down syndrome friends are. However, though, is Down syndrome a learning disability? I know some people obtain one and they also have Down syndrome. I believe that's the case. But I'm starting to think, like, I think for the most part, if you just have Down syndrome if it's just you just have Down syndrome, I don't believe it's a learning disability. I think you just have an extra chromosome. I think that people with Down syndrome are, if they just have Down syndrome, they're just normal human beings. Because you even watch some of the people on this show, you know? Like, there's the chick who was a model who was dating Josh. I remember that. My first character's named Josh. You know, my real name is Sam. And, you know, I've never heard a woman say, like, if his name is Sam, that's a red flag. However, though, I have heard the name Sam being referenced to in being the poster child name for your friend's brother with with like a learning disability, you know. That's you're like, "Hi Sam, how are you doing?" You know? So surprisingly, I don't think there's been anyone named Sam on any of the, maybe Love on the Spectrum. There might have been one Sam. But this show didn't have any Sams, you know? And so that's confused me because there was a Josh in the show, but not a Sam. And we all know Josh is, you know, go up to any woman that's ever existed. Any woman. You go up to him, all you have to say is, "I'm sorry about what Josh did to you." And they're going to have an emotion. Like, an emotion's going to come up. An emotion is going to come up. So, yeah. Is Down syndrome a learning disability? In itself, no. But there are a lot of people who have Down syndrome who do have an actual learning disability. But I don't think Down syndrome in itself is a learning disability. I read about a chick, she had, like, mosaic Down syndrome. And so I guess she had, like, a kid or two kids with Down syndrome, and then she herself got tested and found out she had Down syndrome. I'm like, that is so fucking crazy. And that also proves my point where it's like, just Down syndrome in itself is not a learning disability, okay? Those guys and girls and the they thems, you know how, like, Latin people or Latinx are like, "No, we're not going with that." Like, that's just a white people thing we're doing. Do you think that's the same with people with Down syndrome, you know? Because, I don't know. Do you guys think Down syndrome is a learning disability? Down syndrome in itself, just having an extra chromosome. Because I don't. You know, I would definitely hire someone with Down syndrome to work for me. You know? Like, it's not like a big... I don't know. Am I crazy for thinking this? That Down syndrome is not a learning disability in itself? Because, like, every person with Down syndrome is just fine, you know? You know, they're just like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And we're like, "Not much, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good." You know? I don't know. It's a controversial take, I know. Very much this show is about hot takes, but that is what I believe. But anyways, though, that is Down for Love, not Down Bad, which I've been calling it, but Down for Love, people with Down syndrome dating. Everyone watch it. It's on Netflix, and you can watch it now. It's available now. We're on Netflix, and it's very wholesome. I kind of got bored at the end, like the last episode. I kind of got bored. I think they took away all the familiar characters, but I like the show. I'm ready for another one. Make another season, but Americans, we're not doing this. This is, you know, it's nice to see what other countries are doing every once in a while, you know, and this is the show for it. Drizly, the ultimate convenience for all your alcohol needs, delivered right to your doorstep. Tired of making last-minute trips to the liquor store or dealing with crowded aisles and long checkout lines? With Drizly, your favorite drinks are just a few taps away, making your alcohol shopping experience easier and more enjoyable than ever before. Drizly brings the liquor store to you, offering an extensive selection of beer, wine, spirits, and more. Browse their vast catalog of top-quality brands, local favorites, and specialty beverages, all conveniently organized on their user-friendly app or website. With Drizly, there's no need to leave the comfort of your home. Simply choose your favorite drinks, place your order, and let their reliable delivery partners handle the rest. Whether you're hosting a party, relaxing after a long day, or simply stocking up for the weekend, Drizly ensures that your drinks are delivered promptly and securely. But Drizly isn't just about convenience, it's about choice. Discover new flavors, explore unique craft brews, or find the perfect bottle of wine to complement your meal. With Drizly's vast selection, you have the freedom to choose exactly what you want when you want it. Worried about the hassle of age verification? Drizly has you covered. Their delivery partners are trained to ensure responsible alcohol delivery, making sure that only those of legal drinking age receive their orders. Your safety and the safety of your community is their top priority. Join the millions of satisfied customers who have already embraced the convenience and simplicity of Drizly. Say goodbye to the hassle of traditional alcohol shopping and hello to the ease of having your favorite drinks delivered to your doorstep. That's not all. Using our link in the description gives you $5 off your first order, which can greatly enhance your night, if you know what I'm saying. Ready to elevate your drinking experience? Download the Drizly app or visit our website today and experience the future of alcohol shopping. Cheers to a new way of enjoying your favorite drinks with Drizly. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Honey, your ultimate online shopping companion that saves you time and money effortlessly. Are you tired of endlessly searching for coupon codes or missing out on the best deals when shopping online? Say goodbye to those frustrations and hello to Honey, the free browser extension that revolutionizes your online shopping experience. Honey is your personal shopping assistant that automatically finds and applies the best coupon codes at checkout, helping you save money with just a few clicks. No more wasted time scouring the internet for discounts. Honey does the work for you, ensuring you never miss out on a great deal again. But Honey doesn't stop at coupon codes. It goes the extra mile to ensure you get the best price possible. With Honey's innovative price history feature, you can track the price changes of your favorite products over time. This means you'll always know if you're getting the best deal or if it's better to wait for a price drop. And the best part, Honey works seamlessly with over 30,000 online retailers, including popular brands across fashion, tech, home goods, and more. Whether you're shopping for a new wardrobe, upgrading your electronics, or sprucing up your living space, Honey has your back, ensuring you get the best value for your money. Worried about privacy and security? Rest assured, Honey is committed to protecting your personal information. They never sell or share your data, and their browser extension is designed with top-notch security measures to keep your online shopping experience safe and secure. Join the millions of satisfied users like me who have already saved millions of dollars with Honey. Download the Honey browser extension today and unlock a world of savings every time you shop online. Don't miss out on an incredible deal and the chance to save money effortlessly. Experience the power of Honey and take your online shopping to a whole new level. Honey, the sweetest way to shop online. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. It's time for Oh No, Our Table, the part of the podcast where I answer questions for you and see what the problem is. And as we adjust the camera so I can just relax a little bit. I drank beer too fast. Okay. First question we got here. I need to stop masturbating. So to jump right to the point, I have a very high libido, and I masturbate pretty frequently to keep it in check. In the next month, I'm going to be living in a dormitory system for job training, and I know I won't be able to masturbate anymore. Any advice on how to prepare my body for a change like this as to not suffer an extreme agitation? As I predicted, stopping my habit will do me. Okay, question about this job training. How long is this job training going to last you for? Because I will say, though, if it's like a 6-month thing, you're going to need to figure out a plan to fucking jerk off. But if it's like a 2-week thing, I think we all kind of know an answer to that. I don't know, someone listening to this show is a woman. Women do listen to this show. Someone were like, if women listen to this? And they're thinking, like, why don't you just not masturbate? You're like, see, the thing is, like, for men, like, I don't think, there's a lot of things you can say, but, like, men need to nut. Okay? It's just something we have to do. It's like poison in our body. It's like, it's like we just got to get it out, And, it sounds like petty, like, just don't do it, But, like, sometimes you need to do it. And sometimes, like, some guys would, like, bring a gun places. I'm not going to say schools, but, like, other places, those guys who bring guns places for doing bad and do bad things with it, Like, there could be a possibility someone found them and was like, hey man, you need to stop jerking off so much, you know? Like, just let guys jerk off. If it's between getting shot and letting a man just jerk off, you know, in the privacy of his own home, then yeah, I think I would just let him jerk off in his own home or whatever. But I guess you're in a dormitory system. Like, so I'm saying, if it's like 2 weeks, you're just gonna have to go 2 weeks without, you know, stroking it for, you know, for 2 weeks. You'll eventually find a place. If you're living in like a dorm system where, like you said, it's a job, but I'm thinking about like college. Basically, what you do is you figure out when your roommate is going to be gone or not in the room. You do it quick, and then when they get back, you don't have to worry about it. You could also, if you can do this, some guys can, some guys can't. I'm taking too many antidepressants to do it right now, but like if you can jerk off in the bathroom, honestly though, like jerking off in the bathroom is honestly the best, because the best part about it is you can just fucking if you like shoot your load directly into the toilet water, you know, that shit flushes down easy too. You know, you still got like the stuff on there. I like to call it like the cum cap, where like if you don't piss it out quickly, like it'll just dry up, and then next time you have to go piss, it's like a cork on a bottle that's overflowing. You know, it's like, you know, it just like stings out. You know, so yeah. So either figure out jerk off in the bathroom, figure out when your roommate's not going to be there, and it's just 2 weeks. You know, just figure it the fuck out. You can. You know, it's like, you know, that's why I never understand like smokers, because I couldn't get into nicotine. I tried, folks. I really tried, but nicotine, I just can't do it. And like, I won't, you know, and I don't even like smoking too much because it just makes me cough. So that's why I like fucking love edibles. I don't know, man. You'll figure it. If it's a couple weeks, you'll figure it out. But if it's like a long-term thing, just figure out when your roommate's gone. Or just jerk off just spill your seed into the toilet, you know? Don't spill it on the goddamn floor like that dude in the Bible. Yeah, if I was God, I'd be mad too. Like, you know, obviously, like, God was mad he didn't, like, spill his seed. He didn't fucking nut inside this bitch. But, you know, I'm more upset that he did it on the floor. Like, dude, don't fucking jizz on the floor, okay? If you have roommates, don't jizz on the floor. That's also a good idea. Missing condom mystery. So about a week ago, my girlfriend bought us a 12-pack of skin condoms, and I asked her to bring them to my house because that's where we mostly are. She brought me all of them, and I didn't think anything until I had decided to count them. There was one missing, so the next day I decided to bring it up to her to see if maybe we lost it or something. So I put all the condoms in my hand and said something like, "At least we got plenty condoms. How many even is there?" Her response was, "Oh, it was an 11-pack, which was also a lie. I knew there were 12 packs, so I was like, "Aren't these 12 packs?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, I took one out and opened it to make sure it was the right kind." I instantly made the bruh face. So do you think she's being honest about, and do you think about a girl would actually open one condom from a pack to make sure it would be the right size? Okay. So like part of my mind is like missing condom. Like there's probably an explanation, you know, and like, you know, so it's either she's cheating or you believe the story she actually told you. So I think that's going to be the situation you're in. And that's the thing, though. If it's just one missing, that's the thing, though. Like, I don't know why you would. I mean, it was the box. I mean, you had to have known like the box was already open, like when it came to when it went to your home or whatever. So I don't know. Like, so like, yeah. So the answers, like, the real answer to this question is you believe exactly what she told you, or you believe she cheated on you, you know, like, and she used one, and obviously the guy she cheated on you with has a bigger dick than you. Obviously, he has a bigger dick. Not even, like, bigger as in, you know, sometimes we're like bigger is better. You know, it's not that situation, because, like, at some point, like, there is a too big. Like, you know, like, you see some of these guys in porn, and you're like, like, like I have a normal one, and like you sometimes struggle to get that inside a woman, you're like, God damn, I need to lube it up some more. Then you go down, num, 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 num. So, yeah. So the answer to this question is, it's either exactly what she told you, or she's lying. And so I think it's up to you to decide, do I trust this bitch? And, yeah, and that's questions for you. Only you can answer those questions for you. So I guess do that. One day in, and I want to quit being the tour driver. Can I quit? I volunteered to be a driver for an artist's tour, thinking it would be fun. However, it turned out to be a disappointing experience. I had little downtime, had to handle various tasks like booking hotels and managing merchandise, and the concerts were not enjoyable. The pay of $100 a day seems inadequate considering the long hours and expenses. Now I'm considering leaving the tour midway because I have no interest in being a tour driver and would rather focus on my writing career. Writing career, is that your music? I don't know. Anyways, though, I'm not gonna. That's the wrong problem here. Yeah, I think it sounds like you got very much in over your head. You're like, oh, tour driver, that's not bad. I just you just drive and then figure out when to sleep, or whatever. And I've had friends who are like, yeah, I'll be your tour. Like, yeah, if you go on tour, I'll be your driver. That sounds like fun. I'll be your security. Like, I'll be a roadie for you. I'm like, it sounds like it's fun. I don't know. First of all, being a roadie does not sound like fun. Being a groupie sounds like a lot of fun, ladies. Okay, being one of my groupies. Okay, be one of those women who will, I think, technically sexually assault me, shit like that. One time, like a chick came up to me and just like fucking face kissed me and shit like that. I've had other chicks run over and like rub your groin and shit like that. It's like, if I was a woman, I would be very broken right now. So it's like, thank God I'm a guy, and be like, hey, don't do that. And chicks are like, he might beat the shit out of me. So, okay. I can't. I can't. That's the answer. But yeah, no. Like, I don't know, touring, like being a touring musician sounds like a lot of fun, and it does have a lot of its fun moments, but like, you don't realize some of the other shit you have to do. So, sounds like this band hired you to be both their driver and their like tour, almost like their tour manager. So you're like your merch guy. So you're obviously doing merch, and then you also had to book their hotels, shit too. First of all, if this band's doing so good, they're booking hotels. Okay, they can pay you more than $100. I'm just saying. Some bands, and I'm not even talking about the quality of your band right now. I'm just talking about like, if this band is at a point where they're like, let's get hotel rooms, okay? You're like, let's stay at someone's house, or let's like just figure it out with this bus. Let's buy a school bus, an old school bus, and let's just put some mattresses in there and let's just figure it out, But like, they're like, we're gonna get hotel rooms, or and stuff like that. I'm like, I think they can pay you more than $100. Honestly, though, just like the saddest shit of all this is $100 a day. Actually, in regards to touring, if you can make $100 a day touring, like that's actually not the worst. It's not the worst. That's the sad part. Is it's not the worst. So yeah, it looks like you got tricked into more than you could handle. My obviously reaction would be, hey, maybe, just tough it out, like finish this tour and then going good. If it's going to be a long fucking tour after this, though, like, just say, like, hey, man, I think I got in over my head on this, and I don't think the money's going to pay out, because, like, you can't expect them to, I don't know. It's hard for me to be, like, get an artist to pay you more and shit like that, And so, like, I don't know if this is it for me. I hope that you're in the situation where you're like, hey, the tour, it's just like a 2-week tour. Because if it's like a even like a 3-week tour, just like, I would just say, like, tough it out. I know it's rough. And then just be like, I'm never going to do this again. I think that'd be my best advice for you. But like, if it's like, yeah, we're going to be gone for the next 3 months, you're like, dude, you fucking, screwed yourself. And like, that's the problem with your situation is like, you have to figure out a way to communicate to them that like, hey, this is way more than I can handle. And stuff like that. Maybe communication would be decent. Be like, maybe someone else is going to do the merchandise on the team, whatever. Maybe just be like, hey, we're not going to stay in hotels. You're going to pay me more, and we're going to sleep in someone's house. So there's a lot of things you can do here, but yeah, sounds like you got in over your head. I hope you're in a situation where you can like just finish it out and then just be like, I'm never going to do that shit again. Because I hope every human being has been in this situation where you volunteer to do something and then you realize like, this was a bad idea. I'm never going to do this again. That's just how it is. Should I take my ex's offer to form a friends with benefits relationship? For context, I broke up with my ex about 2 weeks ago. A couple days ago, he texted me asking if I'd be okay with having a friends with benefits relationship, to which I did agree since a part of me still wants to hang out onto what we had. However, I feel like that's not a healthy decision since we're both trying to move on, but this might make things harder for the both of us. I'm not that sexually attracted to him, one of the reasons I broke up, and I have a low sex drive, so the only reason I agreed was because I wanted to keep him close. We're supposed to meet up tomorrow. I am having second thoughts. Should I continue like this, or should I stop? Dude, you need to stop. Oh, you're a woman. Dude, you need to stop whatever this shit you're doing right now, because this is not healthy. This is definitely not something I would say. I actually do think friends with benefits can be a good thing, but it has to be, and it's hard, and it's definitely a difficult situation to try to get across because it's two people agreeing on multiple different things, and it's just like not how humans are supposed to work. Like, humans are supposed to disagree on things, and I think we disagree, but we still keep you and our tribes and shit like that. So, but with this being an ex-boyfriend, it sounds like you're the girl, he's the boy. I'm just gonna say this. Some of you don't know this, but back in the day, opposite sex relationships were like the coolest shit ever. Now it's like the gays are the coolest, or actually the women are the coolest. Like everyone, it's like the rule. It's like men being like, I wish I could show public displays of affection. Like, I wish no one showed public displays of affection, FYI. So the compromise, only women can make out with each other in public, works for everyone. But yeah, no, the thing is, like, if you were in an actual relationship, that means you have feelings. And the problem with friends with benefits type of relationships is you both cannot have feelings. And it's like the moment one of you gets feelings, you kind of have to, either decide like, let's be an actual couple or let's break up. I think that's when the conversation needs to be had. So I would definitely, I definitely wouldn't do friends with benefits. It's like, at this point, it's like, oh, he didn't actually like you for anything but the whole sex part too, And, for men, it's like, yeah, we do a relationship mostly for sex, but at the same time, there is something to like doing boyfriend shit, like let's pick pumpkins and shit like that, that we need to humble ourselves. Like, we all need to be humbled. So, you know what to do. What is ruining most relationships nowadays? Like, my first thought always wants to be like social media is ruining that today, and especially like, I don't know, like just how our communication switched from voice to text, So I do think that's like my first thought, but what would I actually think is ruining relationships? Expectations. I think we all have a lot of unrealistic expectations of what we want from a partner, and I mean, this is definitely just like a talk to myself, to be honest with you. If you want to know, this is me talking to myself. But like, yeah, we have unrealistic expectations of what we want in a partner, and we won't settle until we get that thing. And so, yeah, that's really ruining it. I do want to talk. Yeah, let's talk about social media and how that's ruining it. Because though we get more receipts of shit that happens, I think it opens up people to be able to cheat a little bit easier and not be so good. And, like a lot of people get validation through their like partner and stuff like that. But if we can get it through social media, it's like there's like 15 guys right now who want to fuck me in my DMs. And so if you don't want to, if you want to step up, we always look for like that better option. Like I'm not any better, I wish I could say I actually am better. I don't know why I'm saying this shit. What else is ruining relationships? I would say nowadays. What ruins relationships that aren't mine? That's a good question I need to ask. I think ego ruins it, I don't know. I feel like what's ruining most relationships nowadays is, I'm an artistic person, so I always think like the media and how the world presents itself kind of ruins relationships because we expect unrealistic things, and expecting unrealistic things not good for anyone. So don't do that. It's bad. But yeah, I would say I do think not technology, but like social media is probably ruining people. Like we're all like two different people now, like real life and then social media, shit like that. As someone, do we consider podcasts social media? Yeah, it's like how much shit I talk on this show, but I won't say in real life is, always a mystery too. Do you think getting hit with a belt a lot causes trauma? Interesting question, and I'm definitely in the mindset of I don't have kids, I don't want kids, but at the same time, I genuinely think that like, hey, we shouldn't like, if it can be considered violence, don't do that to kids, because I think in my mind, I was spanked, and I turned out like I did, and and I think a lot of people were spanked and turned out fine, but I also think that the idea of, hey, when I was in high school, if we were playing like fucking kickball or some shit and someone was mad, they got out or something like that, our PE teacher would just say like, hey, take it out on your shoe, so take your shoe off and just like smack it on the ground, throw it, so like that, In regards to getting out anger, I don't think it's the worst solution to the problem. However, I've figured out and I've kind of realized over the years that like, especially with kids and they're developing and they're trying to learn, and it's more than just like learning. There's like a lot of emotional learning that comes like just growing up. And so with a kid, when someone's angry and you're kind of learning how to exist in the world, I don't think that when you're angry or upset or something like that, you shouldn't go to violence, That's why like women get the shit beaten out of them all the time, It's like, like when a guy gets angry, when you have a relationship with all your friends, like I'm mad. I have things that annoy me with my friends that make me mad and stuff like that. But when they do that, my friends do that shit, I try to make sure that my first thought isn't like, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of them. I try to make sure like, why am I mad at them? Oh yeah, because like you don't like the way you feel when someone does that to you. It's just a better way. I think it's just more like mental health, a better way to process your emotions. So in my mind, using, like anger, using violence as an excuse to like process a feeling is just not mentally good for me. Now, sometimes there's like guy stuff, like sometimes your friend gets too cocky. I've gotten too cocky. And then sometimes they just need like a punch to the face, a slap to the face, just some sort of just like hit to them just to humble them, which I think is fine. But overall, though, I just, in my mind, though, just what I think is that if you're angry and you want to process that emotion, you shouldn't process it with anger and violence. Not anger. You shouldn't process that feeling with violence. That's my thoughts on it. Other people have different thoughts, and I think spanking for the most, if someone's like, yeah, we spank our kids, I'm not going to be like, you're a monster. But then I've seen like, yeah, our kid got a B- in class, so now they have a black eye coming to school. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, But But overall, though, I do think I think it's important, even if you do believe spanking is good. I do think it's good to know that, like, hey, children are learning. They're trying to learn how to process emotions, and an anger emotion shouldn't be processed with violence. That's just me. All right, last question. What's the most desperate thing you've done to get laid? So the story comes up with, and I talk a lot of shit about Josh Casey, author of Track and Desire, A Journey After Swallowtail Kites. But I did appreciate him as, he is still a spiritual mentor to me, and I do appreciate him. And the one story that always humbles me and makes me appreciate Josh Casey, author of Track and Desire, A Journey After Swallowtail Kites, is the fact that to get laid, I went to a college ministry type thing. It's called Navigators. And you might have a Navigators wherever you live, and I bet they're good. I bet they're great, like you tell me. But this one just sucked fucking ass. Like, they had a chick play guitar, and I was like already, the church I was at, I was already like, I wasn't the lead worship pastor, but I was doing worship stuff on the one they had there's off Sundays, And so, like, and I expect quality when I play. That's why I've yelled at a lot of people playing in those groups. But I went to that. It was that, and then the sermon was like that. You would give a like third grader, or like when you preach to little kids or whatever, and then the chick just ditched me, and I'm like, I'm so mad. I was so fucking mad about that night. Anyway, so that's the most desperate thing I ever did to get laid. And that's how we can end today's episode of Cancel Schweezy. Thank you for listening to the Lord's Trademark Fair podcast. My new song, Dry Spell, out now. You're going to listen to it very soon. So make sure you go check that out. Streaming wherever you stream music at. Follow me on social media at TheSchweezy, Patreon. We have Cash App. We have PayPal. Those are great ways to financially support us and say thank you for being a friend. And don't forget the free shit you can do. Go to YouTube, subscribe, leave us a comment. Share with your friends. Obviously, those are the easiest ways you can do. If you're listening to an audio platform right now, you're driving, you're listening to me, get your hands on your phone while you're driving and leave me a review or give me a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 star rating. So, honky Vila butt drugs, stay awesome. I've been going through a dry spell, not spending my time, well, I overthink. I wanna go back to better nights, kissing girls who look nice under the sheets. I got no motivation, I've been self-medicating. I don't know how to get better, guess it's now or never. I think it's time for a comeback. These last few years have been wasted away. Thank you for tuning in to Cancel Schweezy, the Lord's trademark favorite podcast, and joining me on this incredible journey. I hope you've enjoyed the valuable insights and engaging discussion I brought to your ears. To ensure you never miss an episode, hit that subscribe button now. By subscribing, you'll receive automatic updates whenever we release new content, keeping you in the loop with the latest episodes and topics. Subscribing not only guarantees that you'll never miss a beat, but also helps support our show. Your subscription plays a crucial role in helping us continue to bring you high quality content and maintain our podcast growth. So whether you're listening on your favorite podcast platform or watching our YouTube channel, take a moment to click that subscribe button. Join our community of passionate listeners and be part of the journey. Personally, I appreciate your support, and together, we can make this podcast even better. So don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button now and stay connected with us. Thank you for being part of our podcast family.